Good morning, students. Today we will have to discuss about the human nervous system, and that is the part of the control and coordination. In previous lecture we have discussed about the movement of the plant, and I have told after the completion of that particular lecture that we will discuss about the phytohormones. But the hormone is the chemical control and coordinating device, and it is also present in the human being. So we will discuss that particular phytohormone and the hormones from the endocrine glands in human at a time. So today we will have to discuss about the human nervous system. Now, nervous system, in this particular process, neuron, the unit of nervous system, they conduct the impulse from the one place to another place by exchanging the ions by different ionic concentration and ionic potentials. So it is also called electrical transmission. First of all, we must know that what do you mean by neuron, and what are the parts of the neuron, and what is the function of the neuron. Now first of all, you will have to discuss the what is neuron. Just like you have seen that the neuron is nothing but the unit of nervous system. It is like this. This type of structure. It's called cytone, and inside cytone there is a well developed neuron nucleus which is surrounded by the certain Nissls granules. It is cytone having this type of cytoplasm, but it is present in the nucleus neuron, so it is called neuroplasm. It is actually cytoplasm, but it is present in the neuron, so it is called neuroplasm. And in this particular part, so many fiber-like structure has been originated, and that is called dendrites. It is called dendrites. It is called dendrites. This is called Nissls granules. And it is called nucleus. Okay. Now, it has been seen that at the certain part of the cytone there is a elevation, and from that elevation a tube-like structure has been originated, and that is called axon. And at the end of the axon, it has been seen that the axon become branched, and each and every branch have certain this type of structure, and that is called synaptic node. It is called synaptic node. It is covered by, this particular neuron is covered by a thin elastic membrane that is called neurulema. It is called neurulema. And it has been observed in certain places the inside neurulema there is certain non-myelinated substances non-myelinated substances here. Which will not allow the impulse to pass through it, or not allow the ions to pass through it. It is bad conductor, and this is called myelin sheath or medullary sheath. Actually, it is a fat deposit. In between two myelin sheaths, there is a node that is called nodes of Ranvier. Nodes of Ranvier, because it is a site where this myelin sheath is not present, and they will allow the ions to pass through it. So this is called nodes of Ranvier, and this type of neuron is called medullated nerve fiber or medullary nerve fiber, because it is called medullary sheath. Medullary sheath, and this is called medullated nerve fiber. But it has been observed in certain neurons this particular medullary sheath is not present, and axon is like this. Axon is like this. No any medullary part, medullated sheath, medullary sheath or the myelinated sheath is present. No nodes of Ranvier have been found. So it is called non-medullated nerve fiber. It is called medullated nerve fiber, and it has been observed that the conduction of the impulse is somewhat rapid rather than this. Here, what happens? The impulse will be transmitted from this way. It is called synaptic node, and it has been observed that the impulse will be transmitted from this part to this part, but there is a gap between these two, and that is called synaptic cleft. That is called synaptic cleft or synaptic gap, and it will be transmitted through a certain chemical that is called neurotransmitter. That is called neurotransmitter. So it is one of the typical neuron, and we will discuss it. The neuron is of two types or three types. That is called motor neuron, that is called sensory neuron, and that is called mixed neuron in later stage. Now we will have to discuss the nervous system of the human being. So firstly, we must classify the nervous system. One that is called central nervous system, having brain and spinal cord. Secondly, that is the peripheral nervous system, and it includes cranial nerves, their number is 12 pairs, and spinal nerves, their number is 31 pairs. Their number is 31 pairs. And it has been observed that both the nerves, this particular peripheral nervous system, including these nerves, are voluntary in nature. There are two types of the system. One is the voluntary, another is the involuntary. Voluntary means the part of the body or anything which will functions according to our will. Whatever we want, just like our hand, if I will order the hand to stop here, it will stop here. And if you will order the hand to come here, it will come here. But if you will order our heart to stop for few minutes, it can't do. Because that particular working of the heart is called involuntary work. But our hand, these muscles are voluntary in nature, and the voluntary part, the part of the nervous system which is voluntary, will be controlled under this particular peripheral nervous system. And third one is the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic, and they are completely involuntary. It is completely involuntary, and it is of two types. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. Now we'll have to discuss about the brain. Brain compactly arranged neurons present inside cranium is called brain. Brain compactly arranged neurons, and just we have seen that the neuron have two parts. One is the cytone, another is the axon, and most of the axon is covered by the fatty myelinated sheath. So we will discuss later on that brain have two parts. One is the white matter, another is the grey matter. The white matter have that particular dendritic part, axonic part, that is the medullated axons, and the grey matter have cytonic part. But before that, we will discuss that this brain is firstly present inside the cranium, and this is called cranial box inside it, and it is one of the hard part of the body, and this brain is one of the soft part of the body. So there is a space between these two, this particular brain part and the cranium, and that functions as a protective device, and that is called meninges, meningic layer or the meningege, and it is of the three parts. It has three parts, that is called dura mater, arachnoid matter, and pia mater. Outermost part just below the cranium, below the dura mater, arachnoid mater, and below the arachnoid mater, pia mater, and in between there two space is present, and that is called subdural space and subarachnoidal space. subdural space and subarachnoidal space. Here you will see that there are 3 layers and 2 gap, and this 2 layer is filled with a certain liquid, especially this particular is filled with the CSF, that is called cerebrospinal fluid, and this cerebrospinal fluid, the certain liquid present inside the subdural space, the dura mater, the arachnoid mater and the pia mater, all are functions as a shock absorber, or you can say that the protective device of the brain. Now, this brain, if you see the brain, then you can observe that it has a deep fissure, and here this type of structure has been seen. In certain part it is deep seated like this, and it has been observed that there are 2 layers like this. Just this is the gray matter, and this one is the white matter. This is the gyrus, and this one is the sulcus. This convolutions, this convoluted structure, increase the surface area of the brain to accommodate maximum neuron inside it. It is also, we will discuss it in detail. What is the name of this part, what is the function of this one, and what are things. Firstly, before this discussion, we will have to classify or divide the brain into certain parts. One, that is the forebrain, another that is the midbrain, and third one is the hindbrain. We will discuss detail in the next lecture. Okay.